just do like a 4-issue miniseries? Like, why you gotta like it was the idea was cool, but it's like, yo, bro, like they're just interacting. There's like 4 characters interacting with each other, you know. So it was fun. Like if
Yeah.
somebody who didn't read comics read that,
Mm-hmm.
they would be very happy with it. But
Yeah.
I was happy with it.
Yeah,
But,
I didn't go to the store this week. I've been kind of busy, but I went a couple weeks ago and I picked up what did I get? That was pretty cool. It's all Skybound stuff, but yeah, I was just reading a bunch of Skybound stuff, and then I picked up some new series. That was kind of intriguing, and then I like that Lost Fantasy series that they do like the homages. Yeah, that's actually kind of a cool. That's kind of actually a cool story, but
I heard good things about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, like for whatever it's worth, like it's just kind of nice, but yeah. So anyway, good morning, everybody. No Pickels today, because he has a football game to go to, and blah blah blah. But we got Fedora, in here doing a little. I don't know how often I'll be able to do these and stuff, but like probably like monthly. And I think like Fedora's been saying in the Discord lately, like, man, I don't know what's up with like comics lately. Like, I just think it's a lot of like nothing really intrigues me like a ton. But I've been reading like old stuff and just like trade paperbacks, and just, you know, like maybe rereading some stuff and, you know, all that. But like, I don't know. The other day I walked into my local comic book store and it was like the Batman poly bags were getting sold, and then I was just curious, like, okay, so what's the chase, right? And you know, I guess people to like buy more paper, but like the story was pretty cool. But the dude, I'm not gonna, I don't know his name or whatever, but like he literally was just buying the book to try and get a gold book. He specifically said he opened it up, didn't get the gold, and then he was like, "Here, you can have this." So
that was
I mean, I guess that works.
People were opening up the stuff, and then we saw like a stack of books like on the shelf, and then we were like, did anybody, like, are these any variants? And then they're like, and my boss was like, nah, like that's somebody just opened, so we just gave them out to some kids. And I'm like, bro, like that's a waste, bro. Like just at least tell us like you don't want it, you know what I mean? So we could put it with the damages, or like give it to a kid, or give it to somebody, bro. Like, and then because it was happening so much, they just limited it 1 per customer, because people were just buying like 5 at a time, and then they were just leaving the books like right on the shelf, like that. They weren't even like So now it's limited 1 per customer.
Yeah, comics are turning into like Pokemon cards, you know, like that's just gonna happen. You know, it's funny. I haven't seen any like YouTube shorts where people are opening up, you know, like Pokemon packs, you know, like those shorts or whatever. So, anyway,
those Batman blind bags are too expensive.
Yeah, it's like $5.99 a pack, like, or whatever, right?
It was like $10.
Oh, see, I didn't even.
What I remember.
I didn't even like. I bought the book because I like Jimenez. I think he's got great art, and it's kind of cool. Like I can't remember the story exactly, but I did not buy 1,000 Spears Monsters blind packs, man.
Yo, I would not be surprised if Midtown Comics bought at least half of the stock for like Mark Spears.
Yo, which Midtown though? Is it the one on the west or the east?
Nah, they got an office. They got a corporate office.
Okay. Yeah, is that on the other side of New York City that you gotta walk all the way down?
It's in Long Island. They have an entire warehouse in Long Island, and
then
they do all the office stuff.
So it's kind of so when I saw you in New York, right? Like, bro, I was sweating. I was fucking sweating.
It was hot that day.
Dude, did you like? I was hella paranoid because, like, you know, when I went to like, you know, give you that bro hug, I was like, I hope he doesn't touch my back, because like it was just, it was dripping, dude. Okay, all right.
Don't worry.
That was pretty trippy, man. Like, you know, when you told me I was on the wrong side of New York City, I was like, fuck. Do I get a cab? Do I walk? I got like an hour and a half. I was like, fuck. fuck it.
That happened before with like a while ago. There was like this girl that she used to DM me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I guess she was like, "Oh, well, we should meet up." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna get out of work, X, Y, and Z. So come pull up." She went to like the other store and thought that I gave her the wrong address.
Yeah. I just didn't have a concept that, like, I know how big New York is, right? It's not like I've never been in New York, but I didn't think that Midtown was like that big to where they could have two different comic stores on, like, you know, two different parts of the city. But
and they're both profitable as fuck.
Yeah, right. And then I was like, and then it's funny because when I was texting you, you know, like, hey, where you at? Like, I was like, is there a fucking secret door that I'm missing or some shit? Like, where's this guy at? And then when you told me, no, bro, like, I'm on the other side of the goddamn city, I was like, oh, dude. It all worked out though. It was a pretty funny day.
There's one all the way down in Fidei.
What's Fidei?
Financial district.
Oh shit. Yeah, I haven't been in the financial district since like 2003.
Bro, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Nobody goes there.
Yeah.
Like if you work there, it's like you're just there.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a signing. That's why they put all the big signings over there. Like Jim Lee was there.
Yeah.
Jim Lee with signing was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Jim Lee, coworker of mine, went there to get his stuff signed, and it was so many people that they were like, "Bro, could you help us? We need you. We're like understaffed." Then there were people fighting in the line and shit, like they were trying to squabble up and stuff. 400 people showed up.
All for an autograph, man.
It was free though. It was free.
Oh, was it free? Yeah.
Yeah.
For free autograph.
Like,
a legend.
It was 3 free Jim Lee cigs. 3. And he charges like what, 100?
Yeah, like I think I paid $150 for my autograph.
So
yeah, but I think that was like, I can't even remember if it was like including grading and stuff, but yeah, anyway, so like kind of back to like why I want to do this list today. I wanted to change up kind of what we do since we're only doing like a month, and like just kind of pick the best of the best. I didn't want to do like classic stuff like, you know, a first appearance of like Blade and stuff like that. I want to get more on the rare stuff, the more stuff that maybe PC wise. I only have like 8 books. You gave me a few. You can add some more if you want to, but I'll try and do this list with you like maybe like once a month, just when we have time. But kind of missed the live shows. I know we don't got a ton of people today because of football and stuff, but yeah, let's have some fun again to the list, and then we'll get you guys back to your fantasy football stuff. So y'all do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends. I've been doing a lot of like these investment videos, so give those a look see too. They're not bad, and yeah, we'll have some fun. All right, first off, this is your pick. Was this Invincible 120? I don't know. I can't remember if is that the right issue or is it a different issue?
I don't remember. Okay. I don't remember, but
oh, no worries. So like
book, you know the book.
Okay, so like you put this in the Discord, and like I looked it up on, you know, online, and the you know, the cover's sick as hell, but there wasn't really like a first appearance or like a storyline. Like, so why did you pick this book personally for like your PC or whatever?
Oh, because it's the death of Battle Beast. And,
okay.
Yeah, it's the death of Battle Beast. And I picked it mainly because like I made the mistake of going on Reddit and like talking about comics and stuff. And then there was like one guy that was like, "Oh yeah, man, Invincible's totally like a bubble, man. Like you better sell it now while you can." And then I'm like, "You're a moron. You're quite literally a moron." And after that conversation, I just wanted to like, because maybe there's like something I missed, you know. So I wanted to look at like all the Invincible books, and I've come to the conclusion that he's still a moron. You know, Invincible is such a huge like comic right now. It's always selling, and I think the big part of it is, if you want to know if a character is like investable, is when they're buying the graphic novels. If you see the graphic novels selling more than the actual like issues, then that's like a big telltale sign that people love the story so much, and that correlates with the prices. because I see first appearances sell just to sell, and then when the trade paperback comes out or the omnibus comes out, no one gives a fuck. And then like a year later, it's like less than like 25% of its height, you know? So I think that like this is like the kids' generation of Spider-Man. Like when the kids were growing up with like Marvel and like all these other like hee hee ha ha Disney heroes, they grew up and then they got Invincible, and this is what they're gonna be buying 20 years from now.
Sure.
And you could quote me on that. You could put a gun to my head.
I mean, I believe you. I mean, it's a you know, looking for Invincible books in the back issue bins, and you know, trying to find deals on them from like stores. It's kind of fun. I mean, it's definitely brought like the fun about comics like back, you know, for me. But you know, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice too. Like, you know, back in the day when you're speccing, or if you're, you know, you have to have like memory of like.
God damn it, Brad!
What do you say?
He said too soon.
Oh, I gotta know.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yo, bro, I was happy with Dolan until my son fired Coach Tibbs, right? But then here's the crazy part. It was such a crazy. I know. First, like, oh God, you got him going. But yo, it was a crazy ride because we weren't supposed to beat the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
And then we did it. We weren't supposed to beat a lot of people. We were supposed to be a first round exit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boom. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals, first time in 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? It was crazy. New York City was going crazy, bro. It was crazy. New York City would have went crazy if they had made it to the finals, but we didn't. Whatever.
Who'd you guys lose to in the
Pacers?
Oh yeah, man. And then homeboy freaking, oh man, yeah, I was so mad about that. But man,
so
that's crazy.
So they fired Coach Tibbs, and it's like, bro, like I get it, you know, like they're talking about, oh yeah, he wears his players out too much, but like the Knicks didn't really have much depth to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really have like a crazy bench. Mm-hmm. So I get it, right? So they fired him, and then they asked like 8 different people. And it's like, how are you going to fire him and not even have somebody ready? It's like, Dolan, like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, my man was, like, snorting coke, doing whatever the fuck. He's in the back, like, oh, we lost. Let me, like, it just felt like they needed somebody to blame. And I'm like, bro, the first time in 30 years we got this far. Every year, the team has just gotten better and better. Give the guy a bench. And then if he still don't want to swap out, then fire him.
Or give him a year. Give him a year to like try it again. You know?
Yeah, it was weird, bro. A lot of people were upset. I will say, if the new guy, I think he was from like Sacramento or something, and then he used to do the Cavs as well. I forgot his name, but the new guy that's coaching the Knicks, if he does not bring us minimum Eastern Conference Finals or better, I don't want him there. They're gonna fire him, bro. They're gonna fire him because, all right, look at it like this: Halliburton and Miles Turner, I think his name is.
Yeah.
They're out. They're out for this
for the whole year, right?
Yes. Miles Turner, he got traded to the Bucks, or he left to the Bucks, so they didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. But Halliburton's out for the he's not going to play in 2026, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, who's the homeboy from Celtics that all the girls like? What's his name?
Tatum?
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
Oh.
He's out. Right?
Where's he? What happened to him?
He tore his Achilles. He blew his knee out or something.
Oh, shit.
He's gonna be out for the rest of the year.
Oh, damn.
And then the Cavs is like the only team that might like violate us. But even they have an injury. So the team, he's gotten better. The team has gotten better, significant improvements. They got a lot of like really good keys. I don't want to get too much into it. The depth in the bench is better.
Look what you did, Michael Baker. Look what you did. Yeah, unleashed.
If we have a clear path, if we don't get to the finals, like that's it. Like he don't deserve to be, because this is the easiest route that the Knicks have had. I will even go as far as to say, if we get to the finals,
yeah,
it was a what do you call that word? It was a fluke. It was everybody was injured, but I'll take it. But I'll fucking take it.
Mikey Baker says, "So glad I asked the question." You're the only one. You're the only one that's happy about it. I'm just playing. All right, back to comics. We'll see how the season pulls out.
I was more of a Bulls fan back in 2012, 2014.
Oh yeah.
When Nate Robinson was on the team and all those other guys, I was following them.
Oh, my homie Nate. Yeah. He's a nice dude. He grew up in Seattle. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, all right, next book. So I picked this one, and I was thinking of Fedora a little bit here. So thrilled. So this is Pokemon Power, the first issue. This was an insert in Nintendo Power. I want to look at the prices for these real quick, just because I was kind of curious. But I think, for long-term holders and for spec, I think this is the best of the best kind of. Let's see, Pokemon. I think this is the best of the best. Spec to get. These are basically, you have to tear these out of a comic or of a magazine, and so they don't really grade very high. So if you can find one at a 9.4, or if you can find, one of these Nintendo Power issues that has them that you can just kind of like tear apart.
What if we get it and we get some of the greatest minds in the comic book community to dissect it out of the book?
Man, I don't even know what you'd use. You're probably using like a serrated blade, like blade, or like a razor blade of some sort. It's kind of like getting those what is Sports Illustrated for kids, cards or whatever. But
Wembenyama, everybody was going crazy for.
Dude, I have that somewhere, but I don't even know how much that. I mean, he's out for next year too, or he's out for this year or last year. Man, that guy. But yeah, 9.4 for 1K last time I saw. I did buy a Nintendo Power like magazine to try and like cut it out. It's super hard, man. It's not going to grade very well. I'll probably get like a 5.0 or 6.0. However, I think this hits nostalgia. It hits a very important, character or like segment, Pokemon, obviously. And I think this one's the coolest one because it has, has all the main, characters on the cover, but any of them are actually pretty cool. So
wait, so is this the first appearance, or?
I don't think it's a first appearance per se, but like this one goes for more than like the Pokemon comic book, because of like I'm sure kids like ripped it apart and then they like either threw it away or like, it's just in really bad condition. So like this one's just a stock image, but I've seen like if you get a 9.0 or higher, man, that's essentially like a 9.6 or 9.8 for,
And I would assume that like this costs more because but like the other one, the Viz comic one, people have a hard time discerning like what's a first print or not.
Yeah. I feel like this is way more collectible than that. Like if I were to choose between the two, I would get this for sure. And you don't have to get a 9.8. You get like a 7.0, 8.0. I think it's still worth it to hold over a 9.8 of that Biz comic book. But
I agree.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks, man. All right, next up. This is your pick here. Sonic Super Special number.
Yo, this is
7.
fun. This is Michael Baker.
I like
this
it.
Is it right here.
I like it. Yeah. So talk about it.
So it's everything is like crossing over now, man. We got all these like shout outs to Fortnite for making all this crazy shit possible. Because if it wasn't for Fortnite, we wouldn't be seeing Marvel and DC do their thing again. We wouldn't be seeing the Ninja Turtles team up with like a bunch of all these people. We wouldn't be seeing Sonic with DC. Like it's crazy now. And like all this crossover shit is crazy. But I wanted to take a look at something that's maybe like lesser known and something that's crazy, something that's harder to find. And Spawn and Sonic, like that's a crazy meetup, you know. Spawn with Knuckles and Sally Acorn, the character that I don't even think they use anymore. And in a 9.8, these go for a few $100s, mainly because of I don't even think anybody knows that this exists, let alone that they'd be willing to grade it.
Yeah.
So it's $20. If you can get a good copy of it and then get a 9.8, you just like times your return by like 3,000% or whatever the fuck. I'm not good at that.
I mean, like I didn't know about this book when you sent it to me. So, and then I kind of looked a little further. Is that where's Spawn? Oh, he's at the bottom right.
The bottom right.
See, that's kind of cool, man. And like, who's the guy in the middle?
I can't really see. I can't remember who it was. I read it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's Shadowhawk, Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
Spawn,
yeah.
You know, like the Image people. I guess that was probably some bozo that Image was trying to push back in the day.
Yeah, and it's kind of like if you're looking at this through like back issue bins, like you'd miss Spawn.
You'd probably find it.
Yeah, and you'd be more concentrated on the top. Like Spawn's barely, like you can barely see him, which is kind of cool. So kind of adds to that collectability for sure. So I know about this, but I don't have it yet. So $20, man, online. I mean, that's not too bad, but like this would be like a fun little hunt, for sure. So. And then next up, I just kind of this is like a book that I've always wanted, and you know back in the day it was like the spec was he's gonna show up in the next he was supposed to show up in that last like the Acolyte show. Everyone was thinking that he was gonna be the Acolyte in that new Star Wars show. Darth Revan, yeah. I mean, I remember reading blogs like in 2021, 2022 that like Darth Revan's gonna be in the new show in 2025, and it was the Acolyte, right? And obviously he was not in it, but I picked this one because it still gets really high prices regardless of Darth Revan may or may not be making it into the Star Wars universe. I do know that the revamped video game's coming out either next year or the year after, and a lot of people are excited for that. He is in the new Lego Star Wars movie. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I almost picked that, Brad. I almost did, but maybe next time. We'll see. But I did see this book at one of my local comic book stores, and they had it for like $50. And dude, it was clean. And so when I looked up the prices for this, I didn't go for still $500 or more. And so I gotta think that the Star Wars spec of him going to live action is like gone, and it's just purely people just love the character and they love the story and they love the video game. So for me, I still think it's a long-term spec, and I'm curious. It hasn't happened yet, but like, are video game appearances gonna help with pushing the comic book? It hasn't happened yet, but it's something to kind of think about. I don't know, but yeah, man, Star Wars is dead. Like the new Star Wars stuff, but I still think there's value in the Dark Horse comic books, specifically like the darker characters of Star Wars, man. What do you think?
I don't really know much about Star Wars. I probably say this a lot, but
yeah. What about the game?
I know Darth Revan. I know Star Killer. I know and those are like two characters that I know that people talk about very often. So So yeah, I mean, I only know Darth Revan and
yeah. Well, right there, it tells you right there. As someone who doesn't know Star Wars, you know Darth Revan.
Yes,
that's good enough, right? So,
yeah.
Doc Joe probably has like 17 of these and 99. So, welcome to the chat and good to see you. All right, on to the next. I thought this was kind of cool. It's a really cool sale. And again, my thought process with all these books was basically like, what are books that are gonna not necessarily go up in value, but hold their value be kind of like one-offs, not necessarily one-offs, but like very like key specific books. And also, I'm not waiting on spec so much. This is more like confirmed spec will go up incrementally in value if they do, and like beloved mediums, I guess, if you will. Simpsons for sure. I mean, like, they're still doing Simpsons like TV shows. My niece and nephews love the Simpsons. They like old school Simpsons too, not just the new stuff. And you know, comic book collectors out there, the barcodes are kind of like the, you know, Mark Jewelers of Simpsons comic books. So I saw this. I searched for this book in particular. It's Simpsons Comics, the barcode version, and 9/8 sold for $1,000 or higher, which I thought was actually pretty like even as far as market's concerned. I'm not mad at that price. And you know, non-comic book collectors don't know about the barcode stuff, but you put this up on your mantle, like people are going to know what Simpsons is. Like, you know, it's impossible for them not to know, regardless of like what they're into. They know what Simpsons is. So I thought this was a good sale. I would definitely have this like as my like a PC / like I'm gonna pass it down to like you know kids or whatever. But yeah, man, what do you got? What do you think about this book? And do you ever stumble upon these at Midtown? I doubt it, but
we get a lot of that one in particular.
Yeah.
There was like a graphic novel that was on the clearance rack, and it had a reprint of the #1, and it was like really old. It was like a graphic novel from the early 2000s with a reprint of the Simpsons comic 1, and it was pretty clean. But what I will say is that Simpsons, we get them very regularly.
Yeah.
And they always sell. Like always.
Oh, cool.
That I would say that's one of the top indie comic sellers from just regular people. I think they sell more on the international side because like people coming from France, Italy, wherever they come from, they always see it and they're like, whoa, that's crazy. And then they always buy it. We get a lot of the Treehouse of Horror, like the $10 ones, the scarce.
Yeah, those are fun.
Ones. They're always clean. We do have like a vintage selection of Simpsons figures, and those sell a lot. So I don't know where they get them from. I don't know if they know a guy who has like a fuck ton of them.
Yeah.
But we seem to have like a crazy surplus of them, and they always sell them. People buy like 8, 9, 10 at a time.
Yeah.
We had like Super 7s from The Simpsons. And
really?
Yeah, those sell really crazy. So I would say that $1,000 for a book in this market that's not Marvel or DC is pretty good.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. When I was a kid, when Playmates put out the figures for Simpsons, Lisa Simpson was the chase figure.
Why?
Which I don't know. It was like 1 per case or something. That was like back in the mid 90s. If anyone in the chat remembers that, but I remember Lisa Simpson was going for like $35 on eBay when you had to send
in the 90s.
In the 90s, when you sent a check to the seller or a money order, if you're a little kid, you didn't have checks, you had to send 35? A check.
That was like
$35. It was like $3,000.
So minimum wage back then was probably like what, $5?
yes, something like that. Yeah, what up, Cody?
So you had to work one whole day. Like if you were a teenager, that's crazy.
Let's see. I don't have a calculator to see. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't have it. So it'd be like a whole day's worth of work, basically. Yeah.
That's wild.
Keep it PG about Lisa Simpson, please. Oh my god.
Also, no one has a tattoo of Vampirella in this chat. I do. So I think I beat Joe.
Doc Joe? You beat Doc Joe?
I think I beat unless he owns the #1. I mean, who cares? Even if he owns the #1 first appearance of Vampirella,
you got a tattoo.
I got a tattoo of her.
If Pickels was in the chat, or if Pickels, I wonder if he has a. I doubt he has one, knowing him, but that dude anyway. So I'm not gonna say anything about him. I hate him. Before I get into the next book, I just want to thank everyone. My crew, or our crew, the Discord crew. I want to thank Fedora. I want to thank everyone for spending a half hour to an hour with us on a Sunday afternoon. We'll try and do these a little more often. I can't do the weeklies anymore, but do me a favor, hit that like button, send this off to everybody, watch my other videos, support Fedora. Fedora, you're on like a Twitch channel right now, right? Like what's that?
I don't. A friend of mine has like a whole thing he's doing.
Yeah.
He was at another. He did like another channel with one of his friends, and it did pretty well. But now he's doing some other shit. So he wants me to like come on. So I come on and I give him the content. The crazy thing is that we were at Anime NYC, and then they had like a lounge for like a bunch of influencers, So I guess he went, and then when he went over there, everybody was just like, "Oh, yo, you're the dude that's with the guy that got the tattoos on his face, right?" And then they were asking about me, and then I was like, "We don't even get that many. Like, we get views on TikTok. Like, some of our videos do really well, but I was like surprised that like a lot of our videos get like 1,000, 2,000 views on TikTok. For sure. Yeah, so it was just weird that people recognized me, and I was like."
That's cool, man. I mean, that's exciting. There's something weird about that. That's good stuff, man.
But we're not making like views enough so people could be like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: your shorts do really well. For whatever reason, the videos don't do as well. That's no like. You know what I'm saying? So, but I watched a few.
We got to do shorts. I think we got to do shorts.
Oh, you and I? Or
yeah. We should turn these into shorts, and then put it on YouTube or some shit like that. Because I think people don't got the attention span anymore.
I know. Yeah, I mean, like I like doing the live shows just because it lets me like interact with everybody and it's fun. But I'm not trying to do it for views or whatever. But anyway, so this I thought of you, and I thought more about a con that's coming up that Pickels really wants to go to, but that motherfucker can't commit to shit. So I'm not gonna put anything back, or I'm not gonna support going to that con. It's basically a October Halloween con that is in Seattle. Elvira's gonna be there, so I may or may not get her autograph. I don't even know if I'm gonna go, but yeah. So anyway.
Yo, if you go, is Terrifier gonna be there?
So he's not gonna be there, unfortunately. Yeah. So, but it made me think about this book because I was like, why wouldn't he go to this con? And maybe it's just too expensive or whatever. But I feel like, I mean, kids don't really talk about this movie so much, but the college kids definitely talk about this. And when I mentioned to one of my nephews about Terrifier being a comic book, he was just like, I need that book. And I'm like, you're going to need like $2,000 to get this book, man. And you talked about this being like a long-term spec, and we've talked about it before.
I don't remember it being $2,000.
It sold for $2,000 this past week, dude. For $18.95, but like, yeah, 9.8 sold for almost $2,000. So, I mean, I think that's pretty rich. But I gotta imagine someone who paid $2,000 for this book in like this market. One, they probably sat on it for a long time, and then two, they're probably thinking like, there's no 9.8s out there. This is my only opportunity to get it. But I do really believe that this is like a long-term kind of hold. This scene right here is kind of what defined the movie in general, because I stopped watching it at this point of the movie. I've
never seen it.
So, spoilers. I don't even know what the hell Terrifier is, but like, so he kidnaps this girl, and he has like a handsaw and starts cutting her.
I know that part.
Yeah. So I turned off the movie. Like, I just couldn't watch it. That's just too much for me. But whatever. Nonetheless, this is a pretty cool, long-term spec, whatever you want to call it. But I think that there's a bunch of other first covers. There's like a Wolverine homage that goes for like 300. There's like another just different art that goes for around 500. So if you want the best of the best, yeah, get this book. But if you want maybe like a 1A or 1B, there are plenty of other #1 comic covers that I think resonate with comic collectors that you could quote unquote afford to buy.
I bought the Fangoria one.
What's that look like?
It's just his first
Fangoria
appearance.
Yeah.
He's on the cover.
That is really cool. Do they call that kind of horror torture porn? Probably, man. I just could not watch it. It's a really gory movie, but the way the movie is like kind of filmed, there's not like a lot of music in the background, so it feels real. Like it feels like you're there. I think that's what makes it so spooky. But have you ever seen any of the Terrifier like movies or like the prequels to Terrifier?
No, I know there's this little kid who watches horror movies, and he comes in and he's always telling me, he's like 10 years old. He's like, "Yo, I watched Terrifier 1, 2, and 3," and then I was like, "Yeah."
He will be. That kid's insane, man. Like that shit is just too much.
He's a funny kid. Then there's like another kid who's a little older than him.
Yeah.
I think he's like maybe 12. And he knows like the history of horror movies. He's more into like the art of the horror movie, and he wants to write horror movies. So every time he comes in with his mom, me and him, like we talk. My only thing of Terrifier is through those two kids. So I would assume if two kids are really into it, this is probably, and I see it everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I would say that like I've never seen a new character in movies, like in just an original movie. Yeah. I'm not even talking about Marvel or DC or like whatever, like an original movie property get this much attention. Like as he's bigger than like Freddy and Jason at this point.
Yeah.
Right now, not all time, just right now.
Yeah. And you don't have to do like there's no like, what's the story of Terrifier? Like he's just there from what I know.
Apparently the new one, the kid was telling me the new one that they're going to go through his origin story.
Oh, man.
And then the little kid was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think that's a little too much. And I'm like, whoa.
All right. You're like, cool.
No, I kind of agree with him, right? Because like Joker, like we don't.
Yeah.
You gave him a real origin story. I don't think anybody would like that. So I'm interested to see.
Mikey Baker says, I must be getting weak in my, in my middle age. Dude, I'm not like a gross out, like I don't really mind like gross movies like Hellraiser or whatever. This just, I couldn't do it, man. I like 20 minutes into it, it was too much for me. It was too much. Anyway, but great comic book to spec on either way. This is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I would call this the greatest FOC call out that Fedora's ever had. Nobody saw this coming when it came out. Was that a year ago? Was that 2024 when this came out?
I don't remember.
Okay, let me look this up. Let me look it up real quick. But keep going.
I did. This is listen. I always say this is why it's important to read your fucking books. read your just read shit, bro. Because I brought every single cover. Like I bought cover A, B, the 1 in 25, the 1 in 50. Like I bought them all. Because I was like, man, this is great. And I didn't even buy it because I thought like it was like a spec or anything like that. But I was begging people to read it. We had stacks of it. Stacks of it, bro.
Yeah.
We had enough copies for 1 in 50, and we had 2 1 in 50s. So, now it's peaking to like mainstream appeal because it's trending on TikTok right now. I seen a YouTube video of a manga page, a manga YouTuber highlighted it on his page, and it got like 1.5 million views or some shit, the video.
Yeah.
So people outside of the hobby are talking about it, and it's getting very, very popular because the first series is now catching on. And a friend of mine, she was like, yo, like, this book is like trending. It's all over TikTok now. It's all over horror TikTok. People are talking about it. Mm-hmm. The trade always sells, which is always a good sign. So it's still pretty. It does still pretty well. The 1 in 50, like, I don't think it does as well as I thought it would.
How much does it go for?
I think a 9.8 sold for like 400.
That's still pretty good for a book that came out in January of 2024. So, dude, almost 2 years ago, coming up this January, which is crazy.
But I was thinking it's still high, but not as high as I thought it would be, mainly because it's a 1 in 50, and I don't think anybody ordered 50 copies of that book.
No, I know
25.
I know for sure when I got it at my LCS, they only ordered like 10. There was a 1 in 10 they had, and then I picked this up and I read it. I thought it was good. But I was like, well, I don't know if I would continue to read it. Like that's how I kind of like nowadays, like when I read a book, like I'll just read it, and if I like it right away, I'll put on my sub. But if I don't like it right away, like I won't put on my subscription or whatever. But that's kind of how I felt with this. And then, I remember that this book, it took a little bit to kind of get hot. So it wasn't like it immediately like got hot. It took like a month to get on those top 10 lists or whatever. Shout out to the top 10 lists out there. But,
once the second one came out.
Yeah, like once the second one came out.
And read it back to back.
Yeah. And you could still find it on like, some comic book stores still had it. I went search a couple places and like I didn't pick one up at another spot that I could have, but and then I saw the following third issue came out and there was like stack at each store because people were starting to get it. But for a book like this to not really have any option news or I know there's a new series coming out and they did a bunch of like NYSC or like variants of cons. I mean to hold up at $400 for a 1 in 50. That's still pretty good, I would say. So nice pick, man.
The 1 in 25, the version. I got mine signed and did a remark. So I got all of mine signed. And the dude is a legit writer. Like he's like a legit. He used to write for like horror movies. And he went to like college for writing or some stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And he just kind of fell into comics.
Yeah.
I spoke to him. I've met him. And it was just kind of something that he like that he did, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'll draw," and he draws it himself. He writes it himself. So he's pretty legit. And I'm hoping that he becomes one of the next breakout writers.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, again, like this is like the greatest FOC pick you've ever picked in the Discord for sure. So. Anyway, this was kind of my pick and, kind of branching out of the Invincible universe. I read this Astounding Wolfman series. It was like, I think 20 plus like issues. It was really fun read for me. Wolfman, if you guys don't know, he shows up in Invincible, the 3rd season. I'm not really specking on the fact that Wolfman could have like his own series or like spin off of Invincible, but the writing's just amazing. It reads a lot like Invincible. I like the background of the character, and one of the big things that's driving Invincible is the comic series has very low print. Well, this is even lower. This is like half the print run of Invincible for many reasons, right? It's not the main series. It came out in the mid 2000s. Nonetheless, I'm finding this being more collectible and more people are putting eyes on this. So these specs for me, quote unquote, are issue 11. So it's a cover in Invincible with the Astounding Wolfman. A 9.8 sold for like $295 by now. I don't know if I think it'll hold value because it has Invincible on the cover, but there's another crossover within Invincible that coincides with this book. And then there's another, this one, the Astounding Wolfman number, I think 16 and 1 in 25, 1 in 50 variant. So it says basically Astounding Wolfman like kills Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I like this book. I would be like, I want to get this like in a high grade and get it signed by Buffy herself, one of the Buffys. It doesn't really matter to me, but I gotta imagine. And I also did look up like other variants in the Astounding Wolfman series, and they're starting to climb up a little bit. If you guys are hunting, Dak, he's not in the chat right now, but I would say like just pick them all up. I think it's a good read. I reread the issues like 1 through 20, like just to kind of get like a synopsis of the universe. And I could totally see you finding like a ratio in like a back issue bin because they're not labeled as ratios. And when I went to the 3 or 4 comic book stores that did have Astounding Wolfman, I asked them, hey, do you guys have Astounding Wolfman? They're like, who's that? I'm like, oh, it's one of the off characters in Invincible. Oh, I have Invincible. I'm like, no, I don't need Invincible. I want Astounding Wolfman. And they had no idea who it was.
Wait. You went to a comic book store and they didn't know who Astounding Wolfman was? What? Shout them out right now, bro. Shout them out right now.
Wasn't Grumpy Man's. It was... Fuck, what the hell is that place called?
This is the shame game. There's a segment called the shame game, bro.
What the hell was it called?
See, Ferd's just trying to be nice.
No, I literally forgot the dude's name. Hold on. Berian comic store. Ancient Comics. He just didn't know who Astounding Wolfman was. And so I was like, dude, put him out. Put out all your Astounding Wolfman. And so he had them for like the whole series, like for $3, 50% off. So I took them all.
Did you buy them all?
I bought them all, man.
Yo, you're a savage. You're a savage.
But
you just extorted him.
I probably did. Yeah, a little bit. But I gotta imagine like if those two guys don't know who Astounding Wolfman is, then there are probably a lot of comic book stores that don't know who Astounding Wolfman is. Look in those back issue bins under A or W, and I'm sure you could at least find the issues, if not the variants as well.
We had the first appearance of Astounding Wolfman.
What issue is that?
I don't remember. We had the first appearance. We had the free comic book day special.
Yeah, that's the first appearance, quote unquote. But I think it's like a shitty first appearance.
Yeah, there you go. We had whatever Invincible book he was in. Then we had the free comic book day one, and then there was like a third one, and we had it up there for the longest time. Nobody even wanted to fucking touch the book. And then we had next to it we had Tech Jacket. We had the first appearance of Tech Jacket, and then his first solo series, whatever. No, like it stood up there for like a year, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. But now it's all gone.
Yeah. Do you think that Invincible like one-off characters are gonna do well, or do you think it's just Robert Kirkman in general? Like, what would you recommend?
I would recommend getting anything Invincible because they're gonna try and milk this shit for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Like bro. Once they're done with the main season, they're gonna do the spin-offs of all of the books. Mm-hmm. Then they're gonna animate the spin-offs. Then they're gonna do a live action. Then they're gonna do everything, bro. They're literally gonna do everything. So if you could get it in while you can for something cheap, get it. Just get it all because all that shit is like too low print and too high demand. It's so low print that I don't ever see like a time where there won't be demand, a low demand for it. I know somebody mentioned like, oh well, the demand for Walking Dead is like not that good anymore, and I'm like, people still buy Walking Dead.
Yeah, I think Walking Dead like number 1 and 9/8 is gonna be like $3K for like the next 3 to 5 years, and then for whatever reason it'll jump up again.
They'll reboot the series.
Or something, right? You know, like something will gravitate. Oh shit, I gotta get like, you know, that I remember when I was like 20 years old, now I'm 42 or whatever, you know. Holy shit, that's like me kind of. But anyway. Well, cool. I think this is like a little kind of like represents like, at least for me, and I would say Fedora, like where our kind of collecting spec, whatever you want to call it, like is headed. Try and do this once a month because we don't have as much shit as we used to, because I mean, honestly, like, you know, I hear in the Discord too, like comics are kind of dead, man. Like they're just kind of,
the new a lot of books are taking a nosedive too. Just like for like the collecting in general. Yeah. I saw like the first appearance of Mecha Sonic. It sold for $800 like 2 years ago, and I saw a recent one sell for like $300. So, which is still not bad, you know, considering that like you could get that book for like $30-$40.
Yeah.
But even like stuff that's you could sell and it holds considerably well, it's not really going for much anymore. Like I don't really know what's going on with the hobby. Like I don't know if people aren't interested in it anymore. I don't know what's going on, but I will say this. And this is just me. This is my educated guess. Take advantage of this because we got places like GameStop. And I think, me personally, I think GameStop is buying a lot of these TCG collectibles. They're going on eBay. They're buying shit out because they need stock for their inventory. And they're going to turn into like this collectibles thing. It's not going to stop at trading cards. It's going to pour into comics. It's going to pour into graded video games. They're going to be selling graded collectibles in general.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it now. Take advantage because once trading cards is tapped out, they're gonna, you know, these corporate scumbags are gonna be in their little think tank, and they're gonna be like, shit, what can we shill next? Oh well, these comics are like totally cheap, blah 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 blah, and then they're gonna start buying this shit out, creating like artificial demand. Then we're gonna have fucking douchebags like Gary Vaynerchuk, like, oh yeah, comics. So like I'm telling you, this is I've seen it. I've seen it happen during the pandemic. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Buy your shit now. Get whatever you can now because the next 3-4 years is gonna get crazy. You're gonna see crazy shit. It's gonna be the pandemic all over again. But yeah.
I also think like I'm not a crypto bro, but I know crypto bros, and to them it's kind of funny money because they're up so much on crypto and they need something tangible to move their money to. And so I think crypto is also kind of pushing like the value of collectibles as well. And, you know, like Pokemon's really big right now and it's kind of inflated, obviously, but it's just like investing. Everyone's always looking for the next 3 to 500 times investment. And I do think comics are in a lull. The two biggest things right now I can think of are anything that's associated with blind bags and like Mark Spears, like art, you know, but that's like it. That's all the stuff I see. And maybe it's just the algorithm that I'm like attached to, but I personally like missed the boat. I'm cool with it, but kind of what Michael Baker said, like for me, I'm sticking to stuff that like I like to read. I think reads well. Robert Kirkman also is like
Dan Mora.
And Dan Mora, yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I just think that anything Kirkman related, I mean, if you're still specking on the whole, like, is this property going to make it to the big screen? Kirkman is just your safest bet because he already has that bridge to Hollywood and he's proven it over and over again. I have a buddy that works in Hollywood. His name's Cooper. And he's basically like, you know, stuff gets optioned all the time. And I've said this on previous videos before. You have to follow writers that option stuff versus studios. Like if a writer is attached to an option property and that writer has success, like I know he doesn't really do stuff anymore, but like Joss Whedon, right? Like if Joss Whedon was to direct or produce or be tied to a specific like property, like Something That's Killing Children, buy that. But if it's just optioned by a studio, it may or may not make it. So anyway, something to think about. And Doc Joe, yeah, blind bags do suck, man. I don't think it's good for the hobby, but that's just me. I'll never say.
I agree. I think it's like a way to pad your numbers, right? Because because the new math fraction sold 500K, and it's like, bro, but you have like $10 a blind bag. It's I feel like this is like the safest way to like pad your numbers So you go, oh, look, look what this sold. And then it makes investors happy and it makes people happy, but I don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
But also, before we wrap it up, Absolute Batman is going very crazy right now. I would say that that's probably the highest selling book. We had Batman Day. It was very exhausting. There's a lot of customers. We had the reprints of issues 1 through 7. Mm-hmm. Multiple people were buying issues 1 through 7.
Very cool.
Completely went out of the back stock that we had. All the trades sold out. It's supposedly a New York Times bestseller. And hopefully this is gonna get people into reading, but I haven't seen this much hype for a series in a very long time. Well, Ultimate Spider-Man, but I do think Marvel needs to get their shit together, because it seems like right now DC has the momentum and the excitement for the readerships right now. I don't think anybody really cares about Marvel outside of the Deadpool Batman, which sold very well, by the way.
Yeah. And I think, Skybound is like the death row records of publishing right now. Everything they put out is I love it. I love all the stuff. And that's why I think for me, I think what real collecting, like spec collecting, like just for comic collectors are, if you read like one particular story and it hits really well, I'm always going to try and find the previous writer's like stuff. So like example, Donny Cates, right? When he did his infamous Venom run, I went back and looked for old Donny Cates stuff. So with Skybound for me, I'm looking for old Robert Kirkman stuff. Like the Battle Pope shit is like hilarious. I like that. And it's cheap. And you can, if you find in back issue bins, because some comic store owners are like, I think there's the other thing too with comic store. I'm doing this soapbox here. They are so concentrated on fulfilling orders for new stuff and getting blind bags and like the 1 in 50s that I don't feel like the back issue bins are really hitting it very well if they have them available. And so there's opportunities out there, man. I every single comic store I walk into on a Wednesday or Thursday, there's so much activity on the new issues coming out and having to have stacks of like, whatever. But the back issue bins just aren't being searched through.
So I will say this. I will say this. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll say it. The stores make a lot of money off of back issues. Back issues are the biggest sellers in my store. Back issues. Nobody, like the new stuff sells, yeah, but back issues are, wall books and back issues are huge. They're huge. So yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So step your fucking game up.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, fun little show we did. We almost hit an hour here. I gotta go back to work, but I want to thank everyone again for coming through. Watch the rewind. Watch my stock market picks videos. They've been getting a lot of traction lately. We're almost at 1,000 subs. 957 as of to date, and we stopped doing the show like a year ago, so this was pretty fun. You guys have a great Sunday.
What are you gonna do for 1,000? We got 2 minutes left. What are we gonna do for 1,000 subs?
I'll do a live show, and I'll give away this ETB of Pokemon cards if we get 35 people to watch the show.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right,
because man, I got this out of one of those dumb like Pokemon Center vending machines. I had no idea. I went out for like $40 for $49.99. My bad. So it holds a little bit of happiness to me. So anyway, but
all right.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Enjoy. Good luck on your fantasy football teams. Fedora, stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys in a month. Take care. Peace out.
I'm still homeless.